Welcome back to Zolak and Bertrand. It's the noontime hour. Let's go right to the Volkswagen dealers expert hotline and welcome in Patriots great Richard Seymour, who joins us now. Richard, how are you? Thanks for the time and congratulations.
Thank you so much. It means so much to me and my family, and glad to be in the Patriots Hall of Fame.
Hey, Richard, you've been back several times, and I know we've had you up on stage when some of your former teammates were inducted. Take us back to Saturday when Robert picked up the phone and called you. How'd that conversation go? Were you expecting it based on who you were up against?
Well, you can never expect anything, you know. I mean, it's always it's tough to get in, especially and it's tough on the fans. I mean, because everybody's very deserving to get in. I've said many times before, Mike Vrabel was one of my all-time favorite teammates, and I've heard so many great stories on Coach Parcells over the years, just in terms of, you know, how he was able to motivate guys and get the best out of his talents. So I knew I was up against a tough class, just like I am every year, but, you know, I'm fortunate to be in this year.
We just played that fumble recovery and touchdown that you had, and that's obviously one of the highlight reel plays for you in your career as a New England Patriot. But is there a particular game or moment or Super Bowl victory that you look back on and you remember most fondly from your time in New England?
Well, I'll say this. In terms of being a Hall of Famer, I don't think one game or one moment should define a Hall of Fame career, you know. I mean, if that was the case, I think, you know, David Tyree, he probably should be in the Hall of Fame, you know. But I think a Hall of Famer is somebody that embodies over the course of a career. You know, coming in, there was a lot of expectations and, you know, I had a great team around me, but, you know, in my opinion, a Hall of Fame career is somebody that consistently gets it done year in and year out. And, you know, is a great example in the community and on your team and, you know, a great guy to be around.
Richard, Robert also took you to Israel at one time. I think you went on a trip with Tom. What did that personally mean to you, especially early in your career?
Yeah, well, you know, it was my first time, obviously, going over to the Holy Land, and, you know, I'm a man of faith, so it was a great opportunity for me and my wife. Actually, I baptized her in the Jordan River, so, you know, fond memories. Actually, you know, we were over there for maybe about 10 days, and, you know, Mr. Kraft is a big donor over there. He had, you know, several fields in his name, and so I just got a chance to see the impact that he's made not only in the New England area, but, you know, also in Israel as well, and we had a great time.
We're talking with Richard Seymour. It's been announced Richard Seymour will be going into the Patriots Hall of Fame. You mentioned coming into the league and coming to the New England Patriots. We were talking yesterday after the news broke that you would be going in, and one of the things we talked about was your versatility and your ability to play anywhere on the line. When you came into the league and you were getting you know, drafted by the Patriots, what kind of conversations did you have with the Patriots about how you would sort of fit before you got here?
Yeah. Well, I remember I told a story, quick story yesterday. I remember a scout came who at the university, I was still at the University of Georgia, and a scout came named Lionel Vitale, and he was maybe the head of scouting or maybe under Scott Pioli at the time. But he came to Georgia and started talking to me about two-gapping. And I was like, well, what's two-gapping? I don't really know what that is. He was like, you know, so he's just kind of giving me examples of, you know, how I'd fit on the offensive tackle and the different, you know, keeping the linebackers free and that sort of thing. And I was just like, man, well, y'all got the 6th pick in the draft, so sure, I can do it, you know. But, you know, for me, you know, I always prided myself on it didn't matter the defense, and I think that's what a Hall of Famer means to me in terms of whether we played a 3-4, and you talked about the versatility, just being able to play up and down the line, you know, just having a guy where, you know, first down, second down, third down, goal line situations, you know, different schemes based on who we're playing. You know, if you can move a guy around, then I think you should pay that guy all the money he was going to pay all the other guys.
Richard, I'm sure you watch the games nowadays. You know, when you're not playing poker, and I know you're very good at poker. But
I'm decent. I'm decent. I wouldn't call it very good.
I've watched you. Come on. The game has changed. Like when you played, you didn't leave the field that much. Everything is substitution based now, where a guy played 2 snaps, he might not play for another 5 snaps, then he gets in on 7. You can't get into a rhythm. How much more does it mean to you when you're recognized as one of those core anchor players in the statement Bill released on you? And he said, for us to build our program, Richard was the anchor of it, and we needed a player like that. But what does that mean to you when you get inducted and Bill talks about, the guy never left the field?
Yeah, well, I mean, I think as a competitor, those are the situations that you wanted to be in. You know, you wanted to because I think it's a major difference in, having a bunch of stats and or impact on the game. Because I know a lot of quarterbacks. I can name a lot of quarterbacks that at the end of the game they get a bunch of dummy yards and yards that are kind of meaningless, and before you know it, it's 5,000-6,000 yards passing, and they can say they got 30, 40 touchdowns. But I think you have to make plays when they really matter, and be there for your team when they really need you. And, so those are some of the things that I think about in terms of, just having impact versus, a lot of stats.
Now to get – sorry, Beetle. But to get inducted into this, you have to be out of the game for a while. And are you surprised Brady's still playing at the type of level, going back to your rookie days when you won the first one?
Yeah, I mean, anybody that's was this year 20 or 21?
Yeah, he's going into 20.
Yeah, well, I think it's just a testament to his hard work and commitment. He's always been, a heck of a competitor, and always wanted to compete and compete at the highest level. So, I think a lot of things have to go right in order for that to happen, just in terms of, the team you're with, the success, and the team that they put around you, et cetera. But, I think it says a lot about, who he is as a person and, how he has taken care of his body over the course of the years. And, it doesn't hurt that they protect the quarterbacks.
There it is. I was waiting for it because I'm like, yeah, and he's also a quarterback.
Yeah, Zolak.
Come on now. You mentioned Vrabel. Vrabel's got a mustache and gray hair.
Touch him in practice, keeping the red jerseys on him. So, heck, I could play for 30, 40 years doing that.
I don't know if you can throw against nickel. Maybe back in the day when, going back to when Bucky Jones and those guys were covering people, maybe,
right,
man,
that's hilarious.
I mean, you're getting inducted here too, and I mean, there's going to be a run of guys. You play with some special players, some guys that obviously you've been back for Troy's, Teddy's, Willie's, Rodney's a year ago, and the list isn't going to end there. Matt Light, I mean, you play with some special players. How much does it mean to you with that core group? You guys that started it and won that first dynasty.
Yeah, no, at the end of the day, that's what it's really all about to me. It's about the relationships that you've built over the years. And, I think we all respected one another, but pushed one another in a really good way to maximize what we were trying to accomplish, and I think we were able to do that. And, like I said, we held each other accountable, but It was fun, like if we got on the plane and, quick story, if we got on a plane and a guy wasn't drinking water, he wasn't hydrating, we was just making jokes about him or, just kind of ribbing them a little bit. And that was fun. And nobody ever wanted to be the butt of the jokes. So, everybody was hydrating. They were getting massages, taking care of their body, getting extra film study. So, anytime you have a veteran group, and I was very fortunate because I came in, I was 20 years old and, we had guys on the team 30 plus with a family. So I was just able to learn so much. So it was just, in terms of me coming in, it was just a blessing that, I had really special players around me, and also veteran guys that really showed me how to be a pro.
We're talking with Richard Seymour. On this show, we frequently make the case for you to not only get a red jacket, but to get a gold one as well. Have you given that any thought about any consideration you might be getting, as you already did this past year for the Pro Football Hall of Fame?
Yeah, well, I've been getting closer and closer. Actually, So the first year, was maybe 2 or 3 years ago, I made the finalists, and then the following year I made the semifinalists. Excuse me. And then this year, I was told that I got into the final 10 of the Pro Football Hall of Fame. So, hopefully next year it's in Tampa. You never know. But it's truly an honor just to be mentioned among the elite and the great in the game. When I came into the league, I just wanted to compete, and I never knew what or how I would compare to other guys across the league. But, I just think when you hear other offensive linemen or offensive coordinators just kind of talk about the impact that you've had, I mean, it definitely, it makes you feel good, for sure.
But it's not bad to start with a red one, right? And you were on a video conference call with Robert, with your wife, right? Because we're in a different day and age now with what's going on in our world. But said your face lit up, and it was good to see him as he broke the news to you, right?
Yeah, no, it's definitely an honor. Like I said, when I think back about the foundation and of the Patriots, and I just remember holding the jersey up, and Mr. Kraft and Jonathan being there, and coming out of the University of Georgia at a young age. I didn't really even know where New England was when I was drafted, but it's a special place to me now, and I've made and built a lot of great relationships. So to be a Hall of Famer, wow, you can keep saying that. So put Hall of Fame by the name, man.
Will do. Have you been given any indication as to when the ceremony might be? With the world on pause now.
Yeah, and that's kind of the thing. Everything is kind of fluid, and we don't know. So we're just kind of waiting, and either it could be maybe a Saturday before one of the games. We just don't know. I hope it's not virtually, but if it is, totally understandable. These are definitely trying times that we're in now, but I'm not sure. But whenever it is, I'll be ready.
All right, well, Richard, congratulations again, and we wish you the best going forward, especially with that Hall of Fame voting taking place every year, and hopefully everything is back to normal sooner rather than later, and you can have that ceremony in Foxborough just outside the stadium.
Then you can get your tailor up. They hooked you up with that white suit on draft day, because that was one of the dopest suits I've seen, man. Don't cut it long.
Appreciate it. Well, actually, you know what? I probably need to hit the road and get on the treadmill right now so I can fit in one like I need to. So
don't we all? All right, Richard. Thanks, buddy.
You guys. Thanks for having me.
Congratulations.